The celestial blessing. Once upon a time, in a vibrant village where the sun cast golden rays upon enchanting fields, two twins entered the world, seemingly touched by the divine. Zuri and Kofi were born under a rare celestial alignment, a moment so magical that it drew villagers to gather outside the modest hut where their mother had given life. As the first light of dawn kissed the earth, there was a sense of wonder in the air, as if the heavens themselves celebrated the twins' arrival. Zuri, the firstborn, was cradled in her mother's arms, her tiny fingers grasping the air with curiosity. Her skin radiated warmth, matching the glow of the sun. Kofi, born just moments later, was nestled beside her, his own spirit already filled with energy as he twitched with excitement. The twins' most striking feature, their long dreadlocks, flowed beautifully even at birth, shimmering in hues of gold and deep ebony as if the spirits of their ancestors had woven them with care. The village elders, wise and seasoned in the ways of the world, exchanged glances filled with awe. "These children are blessed," one elder proclaimed, lifting his voice above the soft murmurs of the crowd. "They carry the wisdom of our ancestors within them." With every word, the villagers felt a spark of hope ignite within their hearts, for they believed the twins would bring unity and prosperity to their community. As the months passed and the twins grew, their distinct personalities began to blossom. Zuri was gentle and nurturing. She would often sit among the wildflowers, whispering her dreams to the butterflies that danced around her. She cherished every moment, eager to connect with the world around her. Kofi, on the other hand, was the embodiment of adventure. His laughter echoed through the village as he turned ordinary days into thrilling escapades, chasing after the winds or climbing the tallest trees. Despite their differences, a profound bond connected them, as unwavering as the bright sun that rose each day. The villagers often said that wherever Kofi went, Zuri would follow, and wherever Zuri led, Kofi would cheerfully tread. Together, they wove a rich tapestry of exploration and wonder. One afternoon, the sun was warming the earth with its golden embrace. Zuri and Kofi ventured to the edge of the enchanted forest, a mystical realm of towering trees and whispered legends. With each step, there was an air of magic that surrounded them. The forest welcomed them with its earthy fragrance, the soft rustle of leaves, and the sound of water trickling from a nearby stream. "Imagine the treasures we might find," exclaimed Kofi, his green eyes sparkling with excitement as he gazed into the forest's depths. Zuri laughed, her heart full of joy. "Let's be careful," she said, her instincts urging her to remain aware. "This forest holds many secrets." Emboldened by the warmth of the sun, they entered the forest, playfully dancing between the beams of light filtering through the leafy canopy above. Laughter echoed, but soon it was accompanied by the sound of adventure unfolding. They stumbled upon a glade filled with blooming flowers of every imaginable color, resembling a painter's palette spattered with nature's love. Zuri knelt down to admire a cluster of wild orchids, their petals delicate and fringed as if kissed by a soft breeze. "Look, Kofi," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "These flowers are so beautiful." As Kofi joined her, he noticed distant trees shimmering with a unique light. "There's something deeper in the woods," he whispered, his curious spirit urging him forward. "Let's see what it is." "But it might be dangerous," Zuri cautioned, her nurturing heart filled with concern. Kofi tilted his head, a playful grin emerging. "What's an adventure without a little risk?" With a hesitant nod, Zuri followed her brother, her heart a mix of excitement and concern. The twins wandered deeper into the forest, where the sunlight became softer and shadows danced among the trees, creating a realm filled with enchantment and uncertainty. As the twins ventured further, they encountered a shimmering brook. The water twinkled like diamonds in the light, and Kofi, filled with mischief, suggested they cross it. Zuri hesitated at first, sensing the shift in the energy of the woods, but Kofi's enthusiasm swept her away. With nimble steps, they leaped across the stones, laughter billowing like a gentle breeze. As they landed on the other side, Kofi turned, a triumphant gleam in his eyes. But just as he celebrated, a sudden chill swept through the air, causing Zuri to shiver involuntarily. "What was that?" she whispered, her gaze shifting to the forest shadows, dark and enigmatic. "Just the wind teasing us," Kofi replied, shrugging it off. But Zuri glanced back toward the village, a feeling of unease settling upon her heart. She couldn't shake the thought that their adventurous spirit might lead them into a tangled web of surprises they were not yet ready to unravel. Little did they know that their lives were about to change forever, tied to the very dreadlocks they wore as a symbol of their ancestry. That day marked the beginning of a journey down intertwined paths, those of bravery and of confronting the uncharted feelings and challenges looming ahead. The celestial blessings cast upon them would carry both light and shadows, urging them toward a deeper understanding of their bond. The call of adventure. The vibrant sunlight filtered through the tendrils of branches that embraced the enchanted forest, casting dappled light on the forest floor as Zuri and Kofi emerged from the clearing. The scents of lush greenery and blooming flowers intertwined in the air, awakening their senses and tugging at their adventurous spirits. "Can you hear that?" Kofi exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement as he pointed toward the gentle sound of rushing water. "That must be the river from the stories. Let's go see." Zuri took a moment to inhale the earthy scent around them, her heart racing with both excitement and apprehension. The sun seemed to sparkle through the leaves, almost beckoning them further into the depths of the forest. "I don't know, Kofi. Mama always said to respect the forest. We could get lost." "Nonsense," he grinned, brushing aside her concerns. "It's an adventure. Just think of all the treasures we could find." Zuri felt the gravitational pull of her brother's enthusiasm wrap around her like a warm embrace. "All right, just a quick look," she relented, knowing that giving in to Kofi's adventurous nature was always a delightful gamble. With that, they ventured deeper into the forest, the familiar sounds of their village fading into whispers behind them. Kofi led the way with a confidence that radiated from his every stride. Zuri trailed closely, taking in the vibrant wildflowers that seemed to bloom with every step. The forest held an enchanting beauty, but it was woven with an ambiguous energy that made Zuri's heart flutter. Bright blue butterflies danced in the sunlight, fluttering around them, teasing both siblings to chase after their whimsical flutters. Their laughter mingled with the gentle rustle of leaves, painting a perfect tapestry of innocence. As they neared the source of the sound, they found a shimmering brook, its crystal-clear waters flowing over smooth stones, creating a serene melody of nature. The sight was mesmerizing, the sunlight capturing the ripples into a kaleidoscope of colors, enchanting Kofi and easing Zuri's nerves a little. "Look how beautiful it is, Zuri," Kofi declared, kneeling beside the brook and splashing some water onto his face. "We can build a dam or find fish. Imagine what lives under the surface." Zuri laughed, her worries subsiding as she watched her brother's joy. "But we should keep it clean," she reminded him. "We're guests in nature's home." Kofi nodded, realizing the wisdom in her words. They took turns gracefully tossing pebbles into the brook, creating ripples that seemed to carry their laughter downstream. Suddenly, Zuri noticed something glinting beneath the surface, catching her eye. With a frown of concentration, she leaned over the water. "What's that?" she wondered aloud, pointing. Kofi crowded beside her, his curiosity piqued. "I don't know. Let's see." Without a second thought, he plunged his hand into the cool water, fingers probing gently until he grasped the source of the glimmer. He pulled out a small, intricately carved amulet, the wood polished and marked with symbols that sparkled in the sunlight. Both twins stared in awe. It was unlike anything they had seen before. "Wow, Kofi! That's amazing!" Zuri exclaimed, excitement bubbling within her. "What do you think it means?" Kofi studied the amulet, a broad grin crossing his face. "It must be magical. Perhaps it connects us to the spirits of the forest. It was meant to find us." Zuri, although captivated, felt a flicker of unease. "We should take it back to Mama Amoni. She might know what it is." "Why? Let's keep it for ourselves," Kofi protested, spinning the amulet in his fingers. "We could be protectors of this forest and its treasures." "And what if it attracts trouble?" Zuri replied, her voice gentle but firm. "It's not just a toy, it has history. It belongs with someone who can truly understand it." As they debated, the soft wind around them shifted, rustling the leaves in a gentle yet forceful manner, as if trying to convey a message. Zuri brushed her fingers against the amulet, and a shiver traced her spine. Something deep within her sensed the weight of their discovery. This was not an ordinary trinket. Kofi, seeing the serious glimmer in his sister's eyes, sighed, the wild gleam fading slightly from his. "Fine, let's talk to Mama Amani, but I still think we should keep it with us until we understand it better." Zuri nodded in reluctant agreement. Together, they decided that despite Kofi's adventurous spirit, they would share their find with their wise elder. After all, part of their bond as twins was knowing when to be adventurous and when to seek advice. With a sense of purpose, they carefully tucked the amulet away, half glancing around as if the forest itself observed their every move. Zuri brushed her hair back, her fingers grazing through her own beautiful dreadlocks, a reminder of her heritage and the tales embedded within the village. Hand in hand, they retraced their steps, their laughter echoing through the woods as they strolled back toward the village. Yet, a sense of anticipation hung in the air, hinting that the amulet was only the beginning of the extraordinary adventures that lay ahead, an adventure that would test their bond like never before. Each step brought them closer to their home and the wisdom of Mama Amani, yet Zuri couldn't shake the feeling that the forest had whispered to them, teaching them about bravery, curiosity, and the importance of understanding their roots. The call of adventure had only just begun to unfurl its mysterious wings, carrying them toward a destiny they were yet to uncover. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue bringing more content your way. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get back to the story. Tangled emotions. The day dawned brighter than ever, yet a muted tension filled the air as Zuri and Kofi returned to the village. The amulet weighed heavily on Zuri's mind, pulling her thoughts in different directions, much like the tangled roots of the trees they had traversed. Kofi, full of enthusiasm, spoke of adventures that awaited them with each step, but Zuri felt a growing chasm between their perspectives. "Can you believe we found something so magical?" Kofi said, swinging their hands back and forth, his voice a melody of excitement. "It's like we're destined for something great. Just think, what if it gives us special powers?" "I wonder what Mama Amani will say about it," Zuri replied, trying to mask her unease. "It could hold stories and lessons that we don't yet understand." Kofi brushed off her concerns. "You worry too much, sister. It's time for us to become heroes of our own story. And when we do, we can share that heroism with the village." As they entered the village square, Zuri noticed that the joyous atmosphere of the morning felt different. It was busier, filled with villagers preparing for the upcoming harvest festival. But amid the excitement, she felt a heavy knot in her stomach. An energy of anticipation mixed with a whisper of unease made her wonder about their place in the larger tapestry of their lives. "Zuri, Kofi," a familiar voice called out, breaking her thoughts. It was their friend, Amina, a spirited girl with twinkling eyes and laughter that resonated like music. "Where have you been? The whole village has been talking about you too." "Just exploring the forest," Zuri replied cautiously, hoping to keep the amulet's discovery secret for now. "What do you mean just? You're the twins of destiny," Amina teased, her body bobbing with excitement. "You have to tell me all about your adventure." "We found an amulet," Kofi announced proudly, raising it in the air as if it were a trophy. Zuri's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't expected him to flaunt it openly. Amina's eyes widened with fascination. "An amulet? You have to show it to the elder. It could be part of our ancestors' magic." A swirl of emotions turned in Zuri's chest, a mix of pride and fear. "We were thinking of waiting until we learned more about it," she suggested, her voice laced with a hint of worry. Kofi chuckled. "Oh, come on. It's not like it's cursed or anything. Besides, the longer we wait, the less fun this will be." "You're right," Amina chimed in cheerfully. "You should bring it over to Mama Amani now. Let the whole village know how brave you are." The pressure built in Zuri's chest as laughter erupted around her. She felt small beneath the weight of expectations. "Maybe we should just..." Before she could finish her thought, Kofi interrupted. "Maybe we should embrace our destiny. Come on, Zuri, don't you want to be heroes? We can't hide it forever." A fire ignited inside Zuri, her heart pounding with a mix of emotions. "It's not about being heroes, Kofi," she asserted, frustration bubbling to the surface. "What if we're not ready? We don't understand what it means yet. What if it leads us into danger?" Kofi's joyful facade faltered, his excitement dimming. "But Zuri, it's a part of who we are. You think if we hide, we'll ever understand it? When will you ever trust yourself to take a leap?" The argument hung heavy in the air, every word like a stone between them that threatened to crack their bond. Zuri's heart raced with anger, sadness, and a hint of confusion. She felt her world shift, The innate connection she had always cherished with Kofi, now tangled in misunderstanding. "I do trust myself," she bit back, her voice sharp. "But I also trust our elders. Time is important. Maybe we can learn more from them before making any decisions. We're not alone in this." Kofi's expression hardened, flying into a counterattack fueled by pride and defensiveness, two emotions that had begun to distance them. "Fine. You can keep your secrets, Zuri. I'm tired of being restrained by your fears. I want to explore, to live." With that, he turned away, storming off toward a cluster of villagers setting up colorful decorations for the festival. Zuri felt her heart ache at the chasm widening between them. The playful bond now seemed as distant as the stars. Every step Kofi took felt like a knot tightening in her throat, thoughts swirling in a tempest of confusion. "Wait, Kofi," Zuri called, chasing after him. "I didn't mean it like that." But he didn't look back, his silhouette disappearing into the bustle of the village. Zuri stood there, feelings swirling like the leaves caught in a sudden gust. A familiar warmth from the sun above no longer felt comforting. Instead, it cast shadows on insecurities that bounced between her heart and mind. Had she lost her brother to a storm of emotions? "Zuri." Amina approached, concern etched on her face. "You two were just joking, right?" "I don't know," Zuri admitted, her eyes filling with tears. "I thought we were closer, but now..." Amina placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Emotions can be tangled, just like the roots of the trees. Don't worry, you'll find your way back to each other. Just give it time and understanding." Zuri took a deep breath, trying to embrace the warmth in her friend's words. Yet deep down, she knew they had reached a crossroads. The amulet was more than just a treasure from the forest, it was a thread connecting them to fate. As the festival beckoned and the village thrummed with excitement, Zuri couldn't shake the feeling that the amulet's magic was only beginning to unravel the knots of emotion tethered to her heart. There was more at stake than simply exploring. This journey had the capacity to test their bond, forcing them to navigate through their own tangled emotions before they could uncover the true essence of their destiny. The wisdom of Mama Amani. The warmth of the late afternoon sun danced over the village, washing vibrant hues across the terrain as the bustling harvest festival unfolded. Colorful fabrics adorned stalls filled with handmade crafts, while the intoxicating scent of spices and roasted yams drifted through the air. But amidst the joyful festivities, Zuri's heart felt heavy, burdened by the rift grown between her and Kofi. Kofi, lost in the crowd, immersed himself in games and laughter with other villagers. Zuri, meanwhile, wandered toward Mama Amani's humble hut at the edge of the village, seeking solace from the wise elder renowned for her healing touch and understanding spirit. As she approached, the sweet aroma of herbs wrapped around her like an embrace. The hut, adorned with woven tapestries depicting legends of their ancestors, felt like a sanctuary from the chaos surrounding her. Zuri knocked gently on the door, and with a warm invitation from inside, stepped into the cozy space. Mama Amani sat by the window, sunlight catching her silver-gray braids. She looked up, her deep-set, wise eyes immediately seeing through Zuri's mask of composure. "My dear Zuri, you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Come, sit with me." Zuri settled beside her, the peaceful atmosphere easing the tension in her chest. "Mama Amani," she began, her voice barely above a whisper, "Kofi and I had an argument. It feels like I don't understand him anymore, and it frightens me. I found an amulet in the forest, but I don't know what it means. Or if it's the reason for our fighting." Mama Amani nodded, her expression a blend of empathy and understanding. "The amulet is a gift from the spirits, a reminder of your bond as siblings. It carries potential, just like the two of you. But the threads that bind you together can also become tangled when you don't communicate." Tears brimmed in Zuri's eyes as she absorbed her words. "I was so focused on being cautious that I didn't realize Kofi needed to explore. I thought our adventure would lead us towards something meaningful, but instead, I pushed him away. Desire for wisdom can often lead to misunderstandings," Mama Amani said gently. "Your fears may have clouded your hearts. Remember, every bond has its storms, but it is in navigation that you find true strength. What you seek is not just knowledge, but understanding." Zuri nodded slowly, holding tightly to the elderly woman's insight as if it were a beacon in the dark. "But how do we move past this? What if it changes us?" Mama Amoni smiled, the lines of her face deepening with warmth. Change is the essence of life. It shapes us, defines us, and can draw us closer to those we love. But first, you must forgive yourselves. Approach each other with open hearts. Let the amulet be a bridge rather than a barrier. Zuri wiped her eyes, absorbing the elder's wisdom. You mean, instead of treating it like a secret, we should share it? Show Kofi that I want to understand him. Yes. The amulet itself is a symbol of your journey, and sharing the discovery can reinforce your trust. When you understand one another, the path ahead will illuminate, and you will both grow stronger together. Feeling ignited by purpose, Zuri stood up with renewed determination. Thank you, Mama Amoni. I will go find Kofi and talk to him. I want him to know that I understand his need for adventure, and that I want to embrace it together. As Zuri turned to leave, Mama Amoni placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Remember, dear one, the heart always knows the way. Trust in yourselves and the love that brought you into this world. With words of wisdom echoing in her heart, Zuri stepped back outside into the festival's vibrant embrace. The laughter, music, and joy that filled the air now felt different to her. Each sound, a reminder that she was part of a larger community that thrived on connection. Searching for Kofi, she navigated through clusters of villagers until she spotted him, a bright figure amongst a circle of children, engrossed in a game of tug-of-war, his laughter ringing clear. Bring it on. You won't win against the twins of destiny. Kofi shouted, playfully tugging against the opposing team with gritted determination. His energy burst forth like fireworks, drawing Zuri closer, her heart beating with a mingling of emotions. Kofi, she called, her voice slicing through the laughter. The game paused, and he looked up, a hint of surprise flickering across his face. Zuri, he exclaimed, his grin faltering for just a moment. She saw the hesitation in his bright green eyes, the remnants of their earlier argument still painting his expression. I need to talk to you, she said softly, stepping forward, willing to embrace vulnerability. Kofi stood still, surveying her with both apprehension and hope. About what? About everything, she replied, feeling the amulet weigh in her pocket like the promise of healing. Can we talk? Just us. His gaze flickered to the group of children who watched them, curiosity sparking around the circle. With a nod, he stepped aside, leading her away from the commotion and deep into a shade-filled area edged by colorful flower beds. What's up? Kofi asked, arms crossed, still wearing a hint of defiance but softening under her sincere gaze. I found the amulet. And I heard what you said about being brave, Zuri began. But I also realized I scared you away. I didn't mean to create a rift between us. I understand how much you crave adventure, and I want that too. I just need to learn how to embrace it without fear. Kofi studied her for a moment, his expression unfolding from uncertainty to realization. I felt like you were holding me back, Zuri. I thought we were supposed to be exploring together. We are supposed to be exploring together, she affirmed, her voice quivering. I need you to know that I believe in you, Kofi. And I want to trust in us. We can figure this out together. The amulet means even more than the magic contained within it. It represents us. Tracing her fingers over the outline of the amulet in her pocket, she felt the warmth grow between them, an invisible thread knitting their hearts together again. Let's be open, just like Mama Amoni said. We can discover what this journey truly means. For the first time since their argument, Kofi's smile broke through the remnants of tension. You really want to explore together? Yes, as partners, Zuri replied, her eyes sparkling with newfound determination. Kofi stepped closer, the camaraderie rekindling the bond that had always defined them. Then let's take the amulet to Mama Amoni. Together. Hand in hand, they moved back toward the heart of the village, weaving through laughter and colors, their hearts finally aligned. With every step, Zuri felt the storm within her settle, a calm replacing the chaos. The bonds they forged would lead them down a path of discovery, not just of the woods but of each other, as they embraced trust, bravery, and the wisdom of their shared journey ahead. A journey of healing. The sun hung low in the sky, its golden rays spilling over the village like melted honey as Zuri and Kofi raced through the streets, laughter spilling from their lips like music. Each step felt lighter than the last as they closed the distance to Mama Amoni's hut, the tension that had previously clouded their hearts dispersing like morning mist. The amulet, now a shared treasure, seemed to glow between them, a reminder of their rekindled bond. As they reached the hut, the familiar warmth wafted from the door, carrying the earthy aroma of herbs and the soothing balm of honey. Zuri took a deep breath, feeling the flutter of anticipation in her stomach mixed with hope. This time, they would seek wisdom not just for themselves, but for the relationship they cherished. "Mama Amani," Kofi called, his voice brightening the dim room as they stepped inside. The elder looked up from her work, a smile illuminating her weathered face. "Ah, my dear twins, you return. I see a change in your hearts today." Zuri exchanged a glance with Kofi, both of them eager to share the news. "We found the amulet together," she said, holding it out toward Mama Amani, the intricate carvings gleaming under the light of the hut. "We want to understand what it means, together." Mama Amani took the amulet tenderly from Zuri's hands and examined it. "Each carving here tells a story, just like your lives," she said, her voice a soft melody. "The spirals represent unity and growth. The seashell at the top reminds us of the tides and the importance of listening to the ebb and flow of life. You both are at a crossroads in your journey, a moment of choice." Kofi shifted from foot to foot, enthusiasm glowing in his eyes. "What do we need to do to harness its power?" Mama Amani's gaze grew serious, her expression shifting into one of contemplation. "Power lies not in magic, but in understanding. You must embark on a journey of healing. Not through the amulet's gifts, but through your hearts. Share your fears, your hopes, and your dreams with one another." Zuri felt a lump in her throat. "We've been through so much. I thought if I urged caution, it would keep us safe. But I let my fear create distance instead." Kofi nodded, his expression reflective. "And I thought my adventures would lead us to something greater, but I pushed you away when all I wanted was for us to truly explore together." Tears prickled at Zuri's eyes, and she took a step closer to her brother. "Can we try? Can we explore not just the world around us, but the world within us?" Mama Amani smiled knowingly. "Yes, my dears. This is the essence of the journey ahead. Take the amulet and go to the sacred pool near the enchanted forest. You will find clarity there." Zuri clasped Kofi's hand, feeling the warmth of their connection flow through her. "We'll go now," she said, her voice stronger, filled with purpose. The elder nodded, returning the amulet to Zuri while offering one last piece of wisdom. "When you reach the pool, cast your reflections into the water. Speak your truths aloud, for in vulnerability, you will find strength. Acknowledge your fears, and you will rise greater than before." With the amulet safely secured, Zuri and Kofi hurried toward the enchanted forest, where dreams and mysteries still lingered in the dappled light. Each step felt heavy with anticipation, threading towards the sacred pool that promised a new beginning. They entered the forest, and the familiar sense of earth and foliage enveloped them once more, invoking a sense of calm. Silence echoed through the trees, as if the forest itself held its breath, waiting for the twins to embrace their journey. "Do you think it's too late?" Kofi asked suddenly, causing Zuri to glance sideways at him. "What do you mean? About our past? The distance we created? Does it mean we'll never be the same again?" Zuri paused, choosing her words carefully. "What matters is how we move forward. Our bond can only grow from here, no matter how tangled it got. Remember what Mama Amani said? We've chosen to embrace this together." They crested a small hill, the sacred pool finally coming into view. The water shimmered under the sun, mirroring the sky and the green hues of the surrounding flora. It was a serene sight, a perfect reflection of possibility. As they reached the edge, Zuri knelt, dipping her fingers into the cool water, sending ripples across its surface. "It's beautiful," she whispered as Kofi joined her, both mesmerized by the shimmering reflections. "Let's speak our truths," Kofi said, his gaze steady on the water. "I'll go first." Taking a deep breath, he took the amulet from around his neck and held it over the pool. "I was so caught up in my desire for adventure that I didn't consider your feelings, Zuri. I thought pushing you away would help me, but it only created a distance between us." The water rippled again, swirling into a soft whirlpool. Zuri felt the weight of his honesty in the air like a grounding energy. Inspired, she lifted the amulet gently from Kofi's hands, speaking next. "I feared that my caution would hold you back, Kofi. Instead of supporting your adventures, I tried to shield both of us. But I realize now that exploring together is the only way we can truly grow." The water shimmered, reflecting their emotions. They spoke of their dreams, shared moments of hope, and expressed their fears honestly, allowing each word to deepen the connection between them. With every truth spoken, the atmosphere transformed, filling them with a sense of lightness and newfound understanding. The burdens they had carried slowly began to lift, rippling gently in the water's depths. Sitting shoulder to shoulder, it felt as if they had uncovered an unbreakable bond. "No more secrets between us," Kofi vowed, squeezing Zuri's hand gently. Zuri smiled, warmth radiating within her. "Together, we'll face everything that comes our way. Let's share in this journey of healing, side by side." They cast their reflections into the sacred pool one last time, the amulet catching the shimmering light, illuminating what lay ahead. The promise of new adventures filled the air with hope, guiding the twins back toward the village, ready to embrace the magic of their connection and the journey that unfolded before them. As Kofi and Zuri rose to leave, they felt renewed in spirit, knowing that together they could overcome any challenge and explore the vastness of their shared destiny. A bond now woven tightly with understanding, trust, and love, forever echoing in the wisdom of Mama Amoni's teachings. The unbreakable bond. The vibrant colors of the Harvest Festival painted the village in joyous hues, music and laughter filling the air as Zuri and Kofi approached the central square. Their hearts raced with excitement and anticipation following their transformative journey to the sacred pool. Now renewed with purpose, they felt as if they were stepping into a new chapter of their lives. As they emerged from the enchanted forest, the sight of their community bustling with life was a balm to their spirits. Stalls adorned with colorful textiles waved in the breeze, and villagers danced in circles, their laughter ringing like chimes in the sunlight. Zuri and Kofi exchanged smiles, their respective burdens lifted like feathers from their shoulders. "Look," Kofi said, pointing to a nearby gathering decorated with woven garlands. "They're performing the ceremonial dance. Let's join in." Zuri grinned, her heart swelling with happiness. "Yes. It's time for us to celebrate together." They moved toward the circle of dancers, voices filling the air with traditional melodies. A group of children twirled with energy, while elders led the rhythm, their bodies swaying gracefully, memories of the past weaving seamlessly with the present. As Zuri and Kofi joined in, they felt the energy of the village wrap around them like a warm embrace. The dance compelled them to let go of their worries, and with each twirl, each stomp, they laughed freely, grateful for the bond they had rekindled. The villagers welcomed them with open arms, taking note of the connection blossoming between the twins. As the music faded into a soft melody, Mama Amoni emerged from the crowd with a knowing smile. "Ah, my beloved twins. I see you have found your way back to one another," she said, her voice soothing like a gentle breeze. Zuri and Kofi approached her, the amulet still hanging near Zuri's heart. "We spoke our truths at the pool," Kofi explained, excitement dancing in his eyes. "Thank you for guiding us to healing. It was you who undertook the journey," Mama Amoni reminded them gently. "Your willingness to embrace honesty allowed the bond to flourish." Zuri took a breath, warmth flooding her cheeks. "We understand now that the amulet represents our journey together, the beauty of our adventures and discoveries. It's a reminder that we can face the unknown as a united front." Mama Amoni nodded approvingly. "The amulet carries the essence of your bond, and together, you hold the strength of unity. Just as the sun rises and sets, your connection will endure through any storm." Kofi, emboldened by Mama Amoni's words, stepped forward. "What else can we do to honor the amulet and our bond?" The elder's eyes sparkled with joy. "Commit to sharing your stories, and let the wisdom you've learned flow into your community. The love that entwines you can inspire others to embrace their own journeys." With resolve, Zuri and Kofi nodded in unison. "We will," they promised, excitement igniting in their hearts. They could already envision sharing their adventures with others, opening doors for other pairs of friends and siblings to connect more deeply. As the festival continued, they caught the eye of Amina, who waved them over. "You two were amazing," she cheered, clasping her hands. "What's next for the twins of destiny?" Zuri's heart swelled with pride. "We're going to share our story of the journeys we've been on together and how we found the amulet. It represents our bond, something we'll cherish forever." Amina beamed. You should tell everyone. You could even make a performance out of it. The idea excited them. Kofi jumped in. We can weave our experiences into a dance, celebrating connection and the beauty of being together. Zuri's eyes sparkled as inspiration flooded her mind. Yes. We'll blend our movements with the stories, incorporating the lessons we've learned. With Amina's support, the three began to plan their performance, gathering ideas and creating a captivating narrative that captured the essence of adventure and healing. Each twirl and heartbeat encapsulated the love and unity that now filled their hearts. Days passed, filled with preparations for their presentation to the village. As the evening of the festival approached, Zuri and Kofi stood together, their nervousness evaporating as they embraced the moment. The flickering torches illuminated the gathering, casting a warm glow on the eager attendees. As they stepped onto the makeshift stage, the energy of the crowd washed over them like waves. Zuri felt the familiar flutter of anxiety, but Kofi squeezed her hand, grounding her in the unity they had forged. With every step we take, we explore not just the world around us, Kofi began, his voice rising above the murmur of the crowd, but the world within us. Zuri continued, her spirit ignited. In sharing our truths, we heal our hearts, together. Like the sun that rises and sets, our bond shines brightly for all to see. They danced, each movement reflecting the adventures of their past, the struggles of misunderstanding stitched into the fabric of their performance. As they twirled, memories flowed through their bodies, mingled with newly spoken promises of love and unity. As the performance culminated in an exuberant finale, the crowd erupted in cheers. Joy painted smiles on every face, and Zuri felt the warmth of her community envelop her. Their journey had transcended from their bond into a celebration shared by all. Stepping off the stage, exhilaration coursed through their veins. Mama Amoni approached, pride shining in her eyes. You have woven a beautiful tapestry of connection tonight. Your bond has inspired this village, bringing light to others' hearts. Zuri and Kofi exchanged knowing glances, their hearts beating as one. They had forged a partnership that resonated with the strength they had discovered together. As the festivities continued into the night, laughter and music echoed in the air, creating a symphony of joy. The twins reveled in the beauty of connection, assured that although their individual journeys were theirs to face, they would forever be anchored in one another. With the amulet resting safely against Zuri's heart, they took a moment to appreciate the radiant sky, where stars began to twinkle as the sun dipped below the horizon. Each star became a promise, a reminder that any distance between them could never sever the unbreakable bond they had woven. Hand in hand, they looked toward the future, embracing the adventures ahead with gratitude and an understanding that they would always navigate their path together, their spirits dancing in harmony as they embraced the magic of love and connection. Did you enjoy this video? If so, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to join us for more amazing stories every day. Here at Daily Anything History, there's always something new to discover. See you in the next video.